Okay, so last time we talked about how much water we added and getting to know our paints. I want to look at how we can also mix colours. Now I'm lucky I have lots and lots of colours on my palette, but really you can certainly paint an awful lot and get a lot of variety with perhaps 6 or 8 paints. A cool yellow and a warm yellow, a cool and a warm red, a cool and a warm blue, and then maybe an earth tone. I can't live without Payne's grey, so that would be in there for me. But you can make a good start with just those first 6 at making colours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a blue. And this is, I've forgotten the name of this blue. It's a lovely blue and I really like it, and it will come to me and I will make sure I tell you. But it really doesn't matter what the paint itself is. So I'm making a fairly watery mix. I'm going to test out and see how watery it is. Still fairly intensely pigmented, but watery. It's translucent. I can see a bit of the paper behind it. And what I'm going to do is, I have never mixed this blue with the nickel titanate yellow that I squeezed out in one of the previous videos. So I'm going to use that up because I don't like to waste it. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of this and I'm going to pop it into this palette because it's straight from the tube. It's very intense and I just want to mix up a slightly watery mix of that. And take some of that on my brush and I'm going to add a small amount to there. And the colour's changed slightly. I'm going to add a new rectangle next to it. I'm going to clean my brush off really thoroughly. I'm going to make sure all that paint has gone. I'm going to pick up another brush full of the yellow and I'm going to add it. So what I'm doing here is I am adding the yellow into the blue a little bit at a time. And I'm just repeating that step. You can see slowly we are moving towards a green. So have a look at what's there. Oh, that's a lot. I'm picking up a little bit more of the yellow to make another puddle of kind of a creamy mix so that I can get some more yellow pigment in there to get the colour change and to see how far and how kind of much of a green I get. Again, picking up some more of that yellow, adding it in, and you can see it is really looking much more of a green colour now. More yellow. Watson. I feel like I'm fairly close. Nickel titanate yellow is kind of a greeny looking yellow. I'm just going to put some of it there. And you can see there's a little bit of a jump, but I'm fairly close to it. You can see I've gone from blues through bluey greens into greens and into a very yellowy green. So with just those 2 colours, look at all the different hues that I can start to create. So you can also see that that nickel titanate yellow that granulates is making some really cool patterns in these kind of blue with a little bit of yellow greens here, and even here in this kind of yellowy green. So imagine if you were to repeat that now with a different blue and the same yellow, or the same blue and a different yellow, or with a blue and one of your reds. And by looking at all the different combinations of colours you can make, just starting out with your blues, your yellows and your reds, your primary colours, you suddenly can discover a massive range of those secondary colours, your purples, oranges and greens that you can make. You can also see how you can slightly get a slightly different blue. Now this is still blue, but it's got a little touch of yellow in it. Yeah. And that can open up a massive range of colours for you. So again, this is an exercise I would repeat with certainly my most favourite primary colours, and if I only have 2 yellows, 2 reds, 2 blues, I do it with all of them to see what variety I can get. It's really great for getting used to mixing the paint with water, for learning about colour mixing and for getting to know your paints.